Morning, guys and gals. Froggy here. This is the part that prevents your door from opening up too much. Like, this is going to go on my driver's side front door on my Suburban. Um, they probably look like that in many other vehicles also. This is a GM part. Let me see if I can give you a part number. Right there. I think this is a real GM part. Came in a GM box, and you know, you don't really know these days, but I ordered it from Rock Auto. So let's put it on my truck. So that's where it goes right there. You can see it broke off. This is an '02 Suburban. Oh, let me try and fix this exposure. There. Sorry about that. This is an '02 Suburban, and it's got about 120,000 miles on it, and that was how long it lasted. Okay, we're gonna have to take this door panel off. We got a speaker. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so I started by popping off this little panel here. See that clip? Just pop that clip, and then on the other end it just snuggles inside there like that. I use a little plastic upholstery removing tool. I'll put some in the comments. I'll put some links to the tools I use. Also, 7mm screw was right underneath the bottom there. I'm not exactly sure what order I'm needing to do this in, but we're going to get it off. The switches, the switch panel, you can just pop off. See these little bottom pieces here? Pop it off like that, and then it's got some tabs that go in there. So pop and pull. These you have to press down there to lift this latch up there, and then just take a screwdriver and kind of pull them straight out. They have to come straight out because they got a little keyway on them. That. This one you press down on that latch. Down, and then pull it straight out if you can. I've never had one of these apart before, so I'm just learning as I go here. This piece, this little triangle trim piece, it's got two metal snaps that go into the door frame, and then get one little hook on the bottom. So don't try to take it off from the bottom. Try to take it off from here first, and then down here. This snap and this snap. Okay? Okay, now we're going to take this bolt and this bolt. They're either 7 or 8mm, I'm not sure. And we're going to take them off. They're all 7mm on my truck. Two long ones up top and a short one on the bottom. Also, this one on this side, some plastic came off with it, so I assume that's broken. I think I'll be able to put a slightly bigger washer than that piece of plastic that broke, and then not have to replace more parts. Now I think you can just lift it off. Let's try. So I'm giving you a little picture of the clips. They're like little hanger things. Alright? So you're lifting it up off the door frame, the door frame, the metal part of the door. You're lifting those little plastic clips up off of there. Lifting the whole panel. So the only thing that was left on mine was the very small wires, one for the lighted reflector that's way over there in the lower left corner of your screen, and you just have to get a little screwdriver and you pry up on the other piece hold on, that piece right there, pry up so that that little latchy part there comes loose. See it right there in that little latchy part. And this is a speaker wire, so that you pry down on this clip and that loosens that up from its counterpart. And now we should be able to get at this latch. So we're going to go in this hole right here, and there's two nuts that are on that side, and then one more nut that holds it on there, this broken piece. So 1, 2, 3. So we'll take these two nuts off, but then you have to lift the piece from the inside of the door, and we'll take this one nut off here, or bolt. I should say those two are nuts, and this one's a bolt. So that one's a 10 millimeter on the door jamb. These are also 10 millimeter, but there's a lot of threaded stock sticking out there, so I might have to get a deep socket. I don't think that little socket right there is going to do it. Let me see if I've got a 10 millimeter deep socket. Okay, so I did have a deep socket, so that came off. There's a little rubber gasket in there for rattling probably, and if you don't have a deep socket, you could probably get it off with an open-end wrench, just not quite as easy. So I put these side by side on the bench for you, and we'll take a look at them. It is not the same part number, but I don't necessarily know whether that means anything or not. The construction is very similar. There's a piece of metal that runs inside of this plastic piece on both of them, because the plastic piece alone wouldn't give you, it wouldn't last months probably. But there's metal inside this plastic all the way from here to the tip. You can see it on the old one there. You can see the metal. So I guess it's a GM original, not original, but not like new old stock, but it's an official replacement. So it figures it'll probably last longer than I will last. So I guess it's a good replacement decision. Going back together should be pretty much the reverse of taking it apart. I will give you a couple of little hints along the way if I think of any. Okay, here's Froggy's first tip, is you have to tilt it and wiggle it and twist it a little bit to get this piece through the hole. It will fit, but you have to kind of tilt it or wiggle it, angle it a little bit. And once you get that through, 2 nuts and then 1 bolt. Okay, tip number 2 would be, I would get these 2 nuts first and just go up, not even finger tight, but just get them 90% of the way. Then you're going to line up this one here, make it a little easier to line up this one here. And then you get them all up finger tight, and then you tighten them up. I'm going to say like 10 foot-pounds, not that much. They're only 10 millimeter bolts, so don't over-tighten them. By the way, I think this will go either on the driver's side or the passenger's side. You just have to flip it upside down. There were some markings on here that said left and right, or LF left front and RF or right front. Okay? Get your speaker wire and also the wire for that open door caution light or whatever you call it. That white stuff right in the middle of the screen down low, some kind of insulation that's gotten very powdery and fine. I would wear a respirator or please avoid breathing that stuff in. I don't know what it is, but it looks like it's degraded over the years. Okay, this is going to get a little tricky. Maybe this is the trickiest part of going back together. Hook your two big bottom hooks first, and then you've got hooks all the way around, and in the middle here you've got one important hook, and you've also got your manual door lock and unlock. So it's kind of hard to get this shaft in the hole of the door lock. Let me show you that. It has to go in that dark space in the middle there. That's the hole that the shaft fits in. So it's been suggested that you take this off, as I did, before you put the door skin on, the paneled. But you got to be careful you don't break these two little tips here. And then there's this one you're probably not going to break, but those two little tips. And also this material is a plastic kind of material that this is made out of, covered with vinyl. So this is going to start falling apart. So you got to be careful when you pop this little bezel for the lock switch, that you don't damage this material so much that it's not going to stay on there anymore when you pop it back in. I guess you could glue it or do something if you end up breaking that or that or that, but try not to. Then it should all like fall right down into place. Bottom first, top, make sure you get the middle. You're going to get your 3 wire bundles fished out, and make sure you connect the speaker wires and the wires for that little light. Okay? Pop it back in nice and easy. Put that part first and then pop in this end, and you'll be able to tell by the sound of it if you've got that metal piece into the slot here. Okay? Now you're going to get your 3 7mm screws in. The 2 long ones up high and the short one down below. Make sure you get them in the holes, and like I said, if you broke off any plastic that is part of the retention, then you better put a washer on there. Be extremely careful that you don't drop these screws down inside the door that you've just so carefully and finally got it to hang on there correctly, because I almost did. It landed right there, but I got lucky. So to get this one here on the bottom, I had to lay on my back, and I used a little straight like ice pick to find the hole, and then I took that out and put the screw in. You can tell if it's going in as tight as it's supposed to be. If it's going in real easy, then you probably didn't get it into the threaded hole. So try and get that in correctly. It's probably not going to make any huge deal if you don't get it in, but I like to put it back the way I found it. This goes on same way as it came off. One hook there, a couple clips there. They clip right onto this skin. They don't go into metal. The ones up here, however, go into metal. That's this piece here. That should be pretty easy to go back. You can see from the pulling that I got this plastic bent a little bit out. If I wanted to fix that, which I don't think I'm going to bother with it, but you could take a heat gun and you could bend this, soften up the plastic with a heat gun and bend it so that it had a nice flat appearance like it originally was. But yeah, that's good enough. There's some more of that white stuff I was telling you about. If you touch it, it's just like powdery. It just kind of disintegrates and powders, so stay away from that. These contacts are probably alright, but I'm just going to spray a little contact cleaner on them just for the heck of it, so that everything works when it goes back together. Here's a tip. When I pull this off that has all the switches in it, these are supposed to come with that. They fit there and there, but they ended up staying stuck here. So I'm going to remove them from here and put them back there so that when it goes together they'll drop in. They'll drop in their holes. See, that's what it looks like. You just shove them on there like that. Well, that's about it. Putting the tools away. Let's see if this thing works. Okay, it doesn't swing way out to 90 degrees or anything else like that. And I am on a slope. Oh, look at that. Just like it's supposed to be. Alright. We're good to go. Give me a thumbs up or a like if this helps you out. Subscribe to my channel if you want more from Froggy. Click on the bell if you want notifications. Be safe. Have fun. I've had this on my workbench, this part, for a couple of months. So got it done today. It's pretty nice. Sunny day. Let's see if I can give you a shot on the cul-de-sac. Yeah. We're beating that virus back, Chinese virus, and it's all going to be good. See you later. Froggy out. Bye-bye.